Hey, what's up, everybody? Mr. Hollywood back again here once again. Thank you for joining me here on the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure you hit the notification bell. This way you'll get notified anytime I upload a video on here, which I've been doing quite frequently here to start off the new year. I've got another Arcade1up video here for you guys, and this one I am super excited about. You know, if you guys thought the layout on that attract mode was pretty sick, which it has, wait till you see this one. The update on here is tremendous. My man Eric Collier, aka Jedi1 on the attract mode community, just absolutely killed it on here. You know, he's the guy that's responsible for the layouts there that you guys seen for the Arcade1up format, the theme on there in attract mode. He also did the 60:1 arcade image, and today I messaged him. I presented, I was like, I wanted an update to look a little bit more like the stock theme on there, and literally in a couple hours this guy did it. This guy freaking, I mean, he's a beast on here. I can't say much about this guy. If you guys ever need a good layout or anything, that's the man to message, to notify. And wait till you guys see this image on there, because it's absolutely crazy. It's in the description, the link below on here. But let me also talk a little bit about these Arcade1up machines on here. Now, initially when I got these on here, now I used to have a main machine that had a whole bunch of games on here. The problem was, you know, I didn't have this kind of artwork. He definitely didn't have this artwork. I mean, it would cost so much. People, I don't think, realize like how much it costs just to have the artwork. And especially if you have a huge main machine on here, it's gonna cost you so much. So I didn't even bother getting the artwork. So they don't look as good as these do, you know. And this was before Arcade1up was even announced or released. So I used to have a main machine on here, but there was so much issues, so much problems that I ran into as far as turning the thing on, going through all that list of games on there. People wanted to know like which button does what for the games on here, how to exit the games and all that, and then just accessing all these different options and menus by accidentally hitting a button, you know. And then these came out, these Arcade1up, and I really appreciate it because what they did on here, they simplified the whole process. I mean, my 7-year-old on here basically just comes up on here, knows how to turn on the machine, change the volume on there, you know, only has to go through a couple games on there, and it goes right into the game on here. You know, it shows you the game layout, what button does what on there, and just hold the button to exit out. So it's so simple. If he could do it on here, and I like that. So for a period of time on here, I didn't want to modify these for that reason. You know, I was like, it's simple, and I didn't want, you know, one machine to have the function and the other one to not. So I didn't modify these for a while. Not that I couldn't do it, just I didn't want to, because I figured I was going to lose a lot of that simplicity and also not be able to do some of these functions, you know. But then, you know, looking into a lot of these things, that I knew, a lot that I figured out or found out from the community. One guy in particular that needs to be mentioned on here is Ryan Gordon. I mean, this guy, as far as scripting, he's the guy responsible, like the on and off, the volume switch and all that. I mean, he's just done some tremendous coding here for me to help out in this whole process as well. But it was, you know, when I got this on here, like I said, I at first I didn't want to modify them, but then, you know, we were able to do this, we were able to do that. So I'm like, okay, and then we finally got this. So then I'm like, all right, let me give this a thing a try. Let me see what we could do. I know I could do a lot of things with it. And then we find that we pretty much got this to, you know, my whole objective on it when I started modifying this is try to make this as stock, to try to replicate it basically to how it is on the stock, and just to be able to make the changes, be able to fix some of these games that are on here that are not playable, able to add something that's that should be on the machine, or we're probably never gonna get on the machine on here, you know, and to be able to make it, but to keep it the same concept, so all these machines turn on and function the same way, you know. And let me show you like what we have been able to do thus far up to this point. Number one, on here we're able to get this on and off to function. So I switch this to off, boom, the machine goes off, and that is great. That is great, you know, because, you know, without that function, I don't think I would even start the modifying if I wasn't able to do that, you know. I didn't want to have to do or call Alexa or do all this silly stuff on here. I wanted to do the same thing as I do on this machine. This is stock. I haven't touched or made any modifiers here besides switching the buttons, but you know, able to do everything on here, and then being able to just come up here to the machine, you know, my 7-year-old just walks up on here, flicks this on, you know, and the machine basically turns on. It's on. We got rid of the RetroPie logos there, all the text on here, and we added the splash screen on here, got the Arcade1up. So I'm like, all right, we got something going on here. We, you know, it seems, it feels, it looks like the stock on here thus far, you know. And then we came into the menu. I mean, on here first, we used the emulation station, this theme on here created by Hursty, who's done so many different themes on there. If you go to the theme section, you can see how much he put out there. And he continues to make these awesome layouts, themes on here for emulation station. So I was like, all right, this thing looks cool on here. You know, we're able to navigate through on here. We're able to go into a game, you know. Then the other question came about, all right, how are we gonna get these controls to work without a select button, all this? We don't want to add in anything or drill any type of holes on here, you know, and how are people gonna know what button is what functions here? So we figured all that. So we let's say, let me bring up I don't know, Street Fighter Championship Edition, you know, bring that up on here, and then we got the game launch images here for all the games, showing you what button does what button press to continue. If I press any button on here, you know, it's not gonna do anything on here, you know, any of these buttons, you know. I have to press this one to continue. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. We got that off, you know. And then the game loads on here. The game loads on here. And then let's get the switch here, the volume. Loud, medium, off. So then we got the volume switch to work. All right, so that's cool. And then getting the coins here for player 1 and player 2, making the start button to be able to add coins and start up on here, and we got that working, you know, on here. But one of the things that still pisses me off to this day is about exiting. Like, we have to do two buttons. We have to press our hotkey, which is here, and then our exit button to exit out, as opposed to just holding the button on here. So that we still don't have, but Ryan Gordon has put something together on here where it's a separate button on here, which basically you hold it for a couple seconds, you know, like the 5 seconds hold, hard press, and it will exit out any type of emulator that you're in and bring you back to the main menu. But we would have to put another button on here. So I'm still trying to figure out on here to still keep this as our coin and start button, and then also having this as our exit button, but to only activate by if you held it. And the way he does it, he wires it to a GPIO pin to the Raspberry Pi as opposed to the USB board, and able to have that function going. So I'm thinking about one of two things, to possibly do like a T-tap splicing the wire, where one of the ends will go how it is now to the USB encoder, and then the other splice to that GPIO pin, and see if that's gonna work. If it does, I'll let you guys know, and then we'll release the coding on there. If not, there's another guy on here that's kind of done even crazier scripting on here, possibly might be able to do it without the splicing on here. So I'm hoping to possibly get this by next week. If I do, that's, I think, the only thing on here that we're really missing, you know. And the latest addition on here, which I'm presenting to you guys now, why I even shot this video, is about the layout. You know, we had this on here, which is great. I mean, the bricks don't look the same as the Arcade1up. The floor on here is wooden floor, is a bit different as well, but it looked all right. I mean, I kind of dig this on here, but we had to move this into a track mode, and the reason we did that for the asteroids, for the centipede, where you have only the trackball and the spinner to be able to navigate on here on the menus, as opposed to using the joystick. So that was one of the reasons we moved to a track mode. The other one was to be able to launch the game right off the bat. Instead of going into here and then finally picking the game, I wanted to just boom and get right into the game on here. So let me go into the attract mode now on here and show you the attract mode layout that the images so far thus far have gotten. Alright, so I'm going to reboot this up on here. This time we're going to go directly to attract mode. I changed the configuration this way. On the boot up, it will go directly there as opposed to emulation station. And then just I mean, tremendous how this one looks. I mean, I love the layout here. This guy put a lot of time and work into this to make this look, and this is just crazy. I mean, look at this. I mean, this pretty much a replica of, you know, of what the Arcade1up is, and it goes right into the games on here. Load it up. You could add your favorites. We could do still categories, you know, categorized between like shoot 'em ups, or maybe trackball games, spinner games, fighting games, you know, beat 'em ups. We could add all that on here, and it just loads on here with the games, and then we could pick and load the game right from here, right from the start on here. Press 1 to continue, and boom, we're in the game, you know. So this layout on here was just great. But when I woke up this morning, I'm looking at this, then I got messaged by somebody else. They were showing they were able to get this from the actual PCB of the Arcade1up. So I'm like, all right, let's change this. If we're gonna be official, we're gonna try to look like the stock itself. We need the actual theme on here. So this is what the images have been up to this point, and now I want to show you guys the new one. If you've downloaded the starter packs on there, or if you've the tutorial that I posted earlier today, basically you're gonna bring up, whether if you're on the Mac, you know, bring up CyberDuck, or on the PC, go to WinSCP. Do the login there, you know, the RetroPie, all caps there, username Pi, password Raspberry, and make sure then you put on view, change it for it to show the hidden files. So this way you can see the attract mode files. Go into the attract mode folder there, and then the layouts there. That's where the layout is there. There you'll see the 1up layout. Just download the one that's in the description now. When you download it, you know, unzip it, and then bring that entire folder. Just replace the one that's there now with the new one. Okay, and once you do that on here, you'll have the new layout. All right, and here is the new Arcade1up attract mode theme, ladies and gentlemen. Man, So there we go. I mean, look at this. I mean, the bricks on here, just so much better on here, much bigger, much more detailed on here. Just how you would see it on the default stock Arcade1up, the flooring on there, and able to navigate on here just as you would do on the stock. So here's the new layout theme. Like I say, you want to update yours on there from what we had on the original. Just you know, drop it in there in the layouts folder of track mode. Make sure you hit the show hidden files on there so you could access that folder, and you'll have the new Arcade1up theme on here. So there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the layout there. And like I said, the only thing left on here, which I'm hoping we get this done with the next couple of days, by no later than next week, is being able to hold this button down while we're in game, any emulator, any ROM on there, and to be able to exit out to the main menu on here, which is this on here, by doing so. So we'll be testing that. Like I said, I'm going to try this splicing method with the wires, see if that works. Or hopefully there's another person on there who's done some tremendous coding. Maybe we'll be able to figure this out. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. Hopefully we get that update. Once we do, I'll definitely update all the images on here, because right now we have, you know, the button combo as the hotkey and the A, or hotkey start, whatever it may be. That's going to change should we be able to get that hold player one start button to exit out. All right, so that does it here on here. Hope you guys like the new layout there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And once again, special thanks to Eric Collier, who just killed this on here, and Ryan Gordon for providing all those scriptings that we have done so far up to this point. Have a good one, fellas.